G'day viewers, how are you today? Wednesday, hump day. Made it halfway through another week. I feel like I'm getting into the swing of this whole 2019 thing now. Getting up Wangafat Wednesday. Probably not everyone's back at work yet. I am, so this feels good. Halfway through first week back, still alive. And Wednesday is traditionally when I do my Wangafat Wednesday video, an acronym that stands for Who Am I Not Giving a Fuck About Today? And today, I'm not giving a fuck about people who insist on equivocating about Nazis and Nazi behaviour and trying to intellectualise whether or not people promoting Nazi and fascist ideology are actual Nazis. You see, just last weekend in Melbourne, we were lucky enough to have a Nazi rally on St Kilda Beach down the road from where I live. Now, people go, you shouldn't just say Nazis. That's hyperbole and cheap and everything. This was organised by people who self-identify as Nazis. The people behind it have swastika tattoos. They brought SS branded gear to the rally. They did their little Sieg Heil salute. The main attractions and promoters of this celebrate Hitler's birthday. Notably, steroid head himself, Blair Cottrell, is on record as saying all school children should read Mein Kampf and Hitler's photo should be in every classroom because he was a great man. Lately, they try and not make those pronouncements publicly. But basically, all of their networks and all of their chat groups have been infiltrated and they're too stupid to realise this. So we see what they're planning. And this event was actually held on a day that could be seen as the 100th anniversary of the founding of the Nazi Party. Yes, 100 years prior, a little group, I think they called themselves the German Workers' Party, was formed, and this was eventually taken over by Hitler, and with a bunch of populist rhetoric, he ended up forming the Nazi Party. So when people say these extreme right-wingers, the white nationalists, the outright racists, the people who want a fascist state, the people who idolise Hitler and promote Naziology, when people equivocate, but they're not actual Nazis, are they? Like, there's a certain sort of people I like to call factwits, and these are fuckwits who insist on saying, well, the fact is, and from a particular perspective, what they're saying is technically true, but it adds nothing to the conversation. When these people are aggressively pushing Nazi ideology to say, well, they can't be Nazis because the Nazi Party only existed, you know, in the period of Hitler. You can argue that if you want. You can also fuck right off because that's just giving ground to these fuckwits. And there's a cavalcade of people on the ABC here in Australia. I think one guy was the head of their news department saying, like, well, I don't think they're organised enough to call Nazis. They're just rabble. That sort of pontificating is literally exactly what happened in the rise of the Nazi Party in Germany. See, the whole thing with this rise of the extreme right and ridiculous shit like Trump getting elected and Nazis and fascists getting mainstream has made me be more of a history reader than I have been. And the parallels in the rise of Nazism are really quite terrifying. Right up to Hitler actually seizing power, a lot of media, both in Germany and around the world, gave him a free run. They more or less treated him like a joke. In fact, Hitler, because he was anti-union and very conservative, he actually had the support of a lot of leaders outside of Germany. It's just that he kept pushing the boundaries of what he thought Germany was, so they eventually had to turn on him. But Hitler and his cronies were laughed off as a joke. There are actual news clippings you can find because Hitler was jailed for a while before the rise of the Nazi Party, and when he was released, there are articles going, well, it seems like Herr Hitler has learned his lesson. He won't be doing that anymore. And yes, he says some outlandish stuff in speeches, but that's just playing to the masses. He's not really that bad. He just wants to be in the parliament. He's just another politician. That worked out well, didn't it? And his fucking cronies, the brown shirts, were given a free pass by the majority of media in Germany, up to and including murdering people. When they were actively murdering people on the streets, they were still given a free pass. And of course, big surprise, those people were mostly Jewish, those who had already been othered by Hitler's voice and voices in the media, much like the vicious scum who were in Melbourne on Saturday were choosing that day to target African migrants in Australia. And it's basically, the parallels are undeniable. And for people who think they know better to equivocate and say, well, they're not actual Nazis, are they? Listen, dickhead, they have swastika tattoos. They worship Hitler. They planned this to be on the 100th anniversary of the founding of the Nazi Party. They know what they're doing. And if you fuckwits don't, it is time you woke the fuck up and saw what the fuck was happening. And if you can't wrap your head around these people are dangerous and the way you're treating them like frivolous, crazy, bogan outsiders was exactly the same as the Nazis were treated as they rose to power, you're the fucking problem, and I don't give a fuck about your stupid attitudes.